look at that. I got my kiln element. And this is exactly what I was thinking it was going to be, what I was hoping it would be. For whatever reason, L&L Kiln, which is literally 5 minutes away from my house, wouldn't sell me this. But the company I bought my kiln from, they sold it to me, no problem. I'm going to move the camera real quick here, and we're going to take a look at how this comes out. I don't think that I can actually video the whole thing, but we'll try. Alright, so the way this thing works is, well, physics, but I don't know if it shows up pretty well. There's a little trough in here, and now there's little pins, and my bald spot, enjoy my bald spot, you know you love it. There's little pins that are holding this thing in place, which I have to figure out a way around. Oh, looks like, haha! So I was wrong, completely wrong. Shocking, I know. These are not twisted. Oh, I'm definitely not too happy neither. Many heating cycles. I actually wanted to order new ones of these and I didn't. I should have. The girl didn't really know what I was talking about. So, it looks like, actually. So, it came with instructions. I highly doubt these are readable. So, I'm just going to read them off real quick here. Unplug the kiln. I personally think that should never be put on anything. If you're stupid enough to fuck with an electrical device while it's still attached to the wall, then you absolutely positively earned whatever shock or death becomes to you, thinning of the gene pool as far as I'm concerned. Let's see here, pull the panel box away from the kiln. Yeah, we've already got that off. Loosen the wire connectors, we did that. Remove the insulators, we did that. Actually, I did not do that. Remove the insulators and the heating coil tails. Remove any pins holding the coil in place. That's what these are. And then, so this is the whole part that I wanted to read here, which is kind of important. And basically it says, when replacing the pins, make sure that they do not overlap the top of the coil. The pins must be placed between the coil loops as they were when you remove them. Proper placement will prevent hot spots and eventual breakage. Push the tails through the holes in the outside of the kiln, yada yada yada. Vacuum the slot thoroughly, removing any broken coil parts or brick dust. It's very important, and it's actually in bold here, and it says, after vacuuming, remove any embedded black and crystallized coil residue before installing the new coil. This could result in creating a hole in the brick, which can be patched easily with lid cement before coiling. If any debris is left in the brick, the new coil will most likely burn out in the same spot. I had a feeling that was an issue. To install the new coil, reverse the above procedure. Trim the new coil in the example as below. Okay, so now one of the things that they say is to not pull it out. They say to thread it in. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna get a little pair of needle nose pliers here. I was actually thinking that I might cut the old coil to get it out. So these are the pins, and you can see here that the way the pin is, it's all the way into the pin itself is up against this, which is up against the brick. So what they're saying is make sure you don't do it like that. Okay. It looks to me like it's only inserted. Oh, there's another pin. This kiln material is literally like styrofoam. This refractory product. And quite frankly, this is the same shit that they had on the space shuttle when they blew it up. When the Columbia burned in, it burned in because there was a hole in this stuff. I know that's a very mean thing to say, but that was a classic case of oopsie on that one. Anybody who's ever dealt with refractory brick knows how delicate it is. It was one of the Achilles heels of the space shuttle from the day they built the damn thing. The heat shielding for re-entry. It even sounds like styrofoam when you mess around with it. They're saying to thread this in. I don't see how you can actually thread this in other than just being real careful. There's that fiberglass. Oh, look at that thing. It's like an amoeba trying to get me. Just floating in space. I'll be glad when that's all burned off. All right. Looks like we're getting close here. Oh, let me see. Can you see that? Yeah, we'll move the camera just a little. Wink. So this is the piece, the other piece I have to get out here. I'm going to do that in a second. I want to get this out the rest of the way. Just tugging on the tugging on it a little. Remember that, ladies, all you have to do is tug it a little. Helps get it out. Now, I'm going to cut this. There's no need to not cut it. And hopefully this will slide right in. Other than stuff don't like to cut. So this is the insulator they were talking about. And I've got these sitting right here, the old ones. Alright, now this should pull out of here. Just like that. Alright, I'm not going to throw this thing away because I'm a hoarder. These little white balls, I think these little white balls are actually pieces of silica gel that I had dried in this kiln at one point. So, alright, let's see if we can get the new one in without screwing it up. So this is the new one as compared to the old one. The old one's got a good bit of cheese growing on it. So, like I said, I'm not going to get rid of it, but I'm also not going to be too keen on saving it. Stick that in there. Oh, so I am going to vacuum this whole thing out, and there is a spot here where I'm going to dig at it a little bit with a pick. Okay, so that's out of there, and I'm not going to move the camera, but right here where it burned, there's definitely a spot where there's definitely a spot there where there's some cheese from where it cracked. So let's clean that out with a nylon brush. I think I'm going to pick it a little bit too. Yeah, I'm going to have, this isn't big enough. Oh, any tool can be the right tool. Enjoy that bald spot, ladies. It's a solar powered sex machine there. Wow, that stuff is soft. So there was actually a little piece. Huh, interesting. Well, the people know their stuff, I'll tell you that. I vacuumed all the cheese out. I vacuumed out any of the debris that was in the crack here. Now, let's see if we can get this one in with the least amount of shenanigans as possible. And this doesn't seem overly delicate, but I don't really want to abuse it too much. Seems like it's threading in nicely. I'm gonna go, before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm gonna put some pins in this. Now, I should have paid attention, but why would I? What pins I took out of where. Hopefully these will slide right back. I'm just sticking them back in the old holes, which probably isn't the greatest idea. It might actually, this stuff is so soft, it might behoove me to just make all new holes. You know, pins work better when you put them where they belong. Ooh. That one, I just made new holes for it. I see what they're talking about now. I'll show you on the old one. That's exactly what they're concerned with. Okay, so it looks like what happens here, I'm going to use the old one as an example. What they're talking about when you stick the thing in is they don't want it like this. So they want it like this, but it's real easy to do that. Okay, so they want this like this, not like this. See that? I already did one where it was kind of like that, and that's not cool. So, and I fixed it. I fixed it. Yeah, I think we're gonna just put all new, we're just gonna use all new holes. This stuff is so easy / hard to work with. We're just gonna put these just in new spots. Now these coils are absolutely a consumable. I mean, obviously you want to get as many years of service out of them as you can. I basically abused the piss out of this kiln. I used to take it with me to art shows and blow glass on site. And I may do that in the future, but I'm only going to make Christmas ornaments because Christmas ornaments don't need to be annealed. We've talked about that in my other videos. But I'm thinking we won't be making anything other than Christmas ornaments. Nothing that requires me dragging this kiln and the generator and all the other crap I used to drag around with me like a hobo. Uh-oh. And that one didn't go in where it was supposed to. Fudge. Whoops. That's what I get for overachieving. Somehow I missed the coil. Yeah, I don't see me doing any more of that. It would have to be a multiple day event for me to drag this thing anywhere. And not for nothing, I'd be really tempted to buy. This company sells a kiln. It's called the Chili Pepper, which is designed specifically for that application, for you to take it places. That is not the way I want that. Oops. I did some damage doing that one. That one doesn't want to go in. I'm a little nervous. Aha, there we go. All right, I gotta be a little bit more careful with the next one I put in. All right. Like I said, how I missed the coil on that other one is, frankly, it's beyond me, but I'm just going to be a little more careful. Guess I could. You don't want this thing to ever move. That's it. Okay. Now that I've worked my way around to where we can see here, I cannot stress enough how helpful, and I am so terrible, I forgot her name, the customer service representative at Jen Ken is. It was fantastic. This customer service was fantastic. I ordered this part on Friday at like 10 or 11 in the morning from Florida. I live in Philadelphia. I had the part Tuesday. As a matter of fact, I got the email that it had been shipped today, and whammo, it's here already. I mean, quite frankly, you can't help but say, hey, that's great customer service right there. That's the kind of customer service that you should get anywhere. And this kiln's 20 years old, or 20 some years old, and it's 20 some years old. It doesn't owe me anything. I've used it, well, yeah, it doesn't owe me anything. I've used the damn thing literally on and off for over 20 years. That bald spot, ladies. The fact that they had the part in stock, like in stock, ready to ship, she took it off the shelf, slapped a sticker on it, and sent it to me. Now, granted, I'm sure that this coil goes into multiple different kilns, but you still have to be slightly impressed with that. I also can't imagine it's a very large operation. I mean, how many kilns can you sell, you know? A couple hundred a year. Actually, I'd say probably 5,000. I wouldn't even say that many. I'd probably be more tempted to say 643 before I bought mine. Depending on how they work their serial numbers. we're gonna have to vacuum this thing back out again. I got cheese everywhere. If I get another 10 years out of this, if I'm still alive, then I got a good deal on it. This kiln, when I bought it, I actually bought it from Whale Apparatus. And the truth of the matter is, I think my mom bought it for me. And just stretch it just a little bit. Which doesn't surprise me. Now you do want to make sure that this thing is supported, and once it gets hot, it's going to want to sag. That's why it's in a channel here. And then we got one more. So I either didn't put one in or I dropped one somewhere. So I'm going to put it right here. In a fresh hole. And hopefully that'll hold everything in place. Ta-da! There we go. Now here's the piggy tails hanging out. Now if I was daring, which I'm not, I would just take 110 volts and stick it right to this thing and see if it glows red. I have pretty decent faith that it's going to work. Okay, so that's installing the coil. Now I'm going to get the vacuum back out and I'm going to vacuum the inside of this a little bit more.